Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, we are tackling a classic technical hurdle found in the original AC title. We at Teknobalta analyzed this specific behavior where the game refuses to stay in full screen after an Alt-Tab command. This is a common occurrence in legacy engines that do not handle modern display buffer transitions correctly. When you minimize a game from the 2000s, the GPU loses the exclusive full-screen hook. Let us dive into the root cause analysis of why this happens on modern Windows environments. The primary reason is the lack of a borderless windowed mode in older software. When the game loses focus, it reverts to a windowed state to prevent a system hang. However, the in-game menu often lacks a toggle to return to full-screen mode manually. Before we start the deep technical fixes, we must perform some basic preparation. Ensure your GPU drivers are updated to the latest stable version to ensure display scaling works. We at Teknobalta recommend closing all background overlays like Discord or Steam overlay for this test. Now let us try the most immediate solution which works for many users. While the game is active and in windowed mode, press the Alt and Enter keys simultaneously. This command forces the Windows DWM to reinitialize the application window into a full screen state. If the screen flickers and returns to full screen, the basic hook has been successful. But what if the image looks cropped or the edges are missing after doing this? This indicates a resolution mismatch between the game engine and the desktop environment. We at Teknobalta have found that the game might be trying to render a 4:3 aspect ratio. To fix this permanently, we need to modify the configuration files directly. Navigate to your AppData folder by typing %appdata% in the Windows search bar. Look for the Ubisoft folder and then locate the Assassin's Creed directory. Inside, you will find a file named Assassin.ini. Right-click this file and open it with Notepad or a similar text editor. We are looking for a specific line that controls the display mode. Find the line that says full screen equals 0 and change it to full screen equals 1. Also, verify that the display width and display height match your monitor's native resolution. For a standard monitor, this should be 1920 by 1080. Save the file and close the editor. Now, right-click the Assassin.ini file again and select Properties. Check the Read-Only box to prevent the game from resetting these values on launch. If the game still shows cropping issues, we must look at the GPU scaling settings. Open your NVIDIA control panel or AMD Radeon software. Navigate to the section labeled Adjust Desktop Size and Position. Select the option for full screen scaling and perform scaling on the GPU. Check the box that says Override the scaling mode set by games and programs. This ensures that the GPU handles the image stretching rather than the monitor's internal scaler. We at Teknobalta have observed that this fixes the off-screen UI elements. Another potential culprit is the high DPI scaling behavior of Windows 10 and 11. Go to the game's installation folder and find the executable file. Right-click the exe and go to Properties, then the Compatibility tab. Click on Change High DPI settings at the bottom of the window. Check the box for Override High DPI scaling behavior and set it to Application. This prevents Windows from trying to zoom into the game window, which often causes the cropping. While you are in the Compatibility tab, you might also want to enable Run this program as an administrator. Some older games require administrative privileges to correctly access display buffers. Let us discuss an alternative method for those who still face issues. There are third-party tools like Borderless Gaming that can force a window into a full screen state. Simply run the game in a window, open the tool, and add the game to the favorites list. This effectively creates a borderless windowed mode, which is much more stable for alt-tabbing. However, we at Teknobalta prefer native fixes before relying on external software. If you are using a multi-monitor setup, this can also cause the game to lose full screen focus. Try disabling your secondary monitor temporarily using Windows key +P. Select PC screen only, and then launch the game to see if the issue persists. This eliminates any conflict between different refresh rates or resolutions across monitors. For users on laptops with hybrid graphics, ensure the game is running on the dedicated GPU. Go to Windows Graphics Settings and browse for the Assassin's Creed executable. Set the preference to high performance to ensure the NVIDIA or AMD chip is active. Integrated graphics often struggle with legacy full-screen hooks in older DirectX versions. Now, let us summarize the technical steps we have taken today. First, we used the Alt+Enter hotkey to force a window transition. Second, we modified the Assassin.ini file to lock the resolution and full screen flag. Third, we adjusted GPU scaling to prevent the image from being cropped or stretched incorrectly. Fourth, we applied High DPI overrides to ensure the Windows interface doesn't interfere. These steps combined provide a comprehensive solution for almost any version of the game. We at Teknobalta always recommend testing each step one by one to find the specific conflict. Remember that older games were designed for a different era of hardware architecture. Patience and technical precision are key when dealing with these classic titles. If you found this guide helpful, please let us know in the comments. We are committed to solving these niche technical issues for the gaming community. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more professional troubleshooting and hardware insights. This has been a Teknobalta Technical Deep Dive. See you in the next one. Thank you.